number 5, specifically on the last two pieces. So the formula that you are given is I is equal to P times R times T. And this is to calculate simple interest in this case. So P is going to be your principal. In other words, your starting dollar amount. R is going to be your interest rate. And this should be written as a decimal when you use it. And T is time, and that should be in years. I over here will be the interest, so how much additional money you've earned off of the account. Okay. So in the first portion, we kind of need to solve for R, because we need that in order to solve one of the questions. So if we're solving for R, we'll start off with the initial equation again. Notice that what's happening on the left-hand side is that P is being multiplied with R is being multiplied with T. And we had done something similar in class. So if I want to get R by itself, I can basically at the same time divide both P and T. And this allows me to cancel the P's out and the T's out on the right-hand side. So my final equation here would be I divided by P times T is equal to R. So the first thing that we are asked in my example is they tell me that I start off by investing $3,000. So since I'm being told that I am investing $3,000, I know that P is equal to 3,000. And we know that the interest rate, in my case, is going to be 3%. So in other words, I want to convert that into a decimal. And in my instance, again, I'm leaving it in for 1 year. So with this particular information, I can go ahead and drop it into the equation that I just circled in blue. So I is equal to P times R times T. Because if you read through that first question, it's asking you what's the interest rate. So if I want to know what the interest rate is, I'm specifically asking what does the variable I equal to. So in this case, I know that I is going to be equal to $3,000 times 3% times 1 year. And if I were to take care of this multiplication, then I get 90. But remember that you want to use context when you are answering this question. And since interest is talking about an additional dollar amount that you're earning, that means that the 90 that I'm working with is $90. Okay. The second question tells you, well, they want you to find out the specific interest rate that you get if you earn $475 from an investment of $2,000 that is left in the account over 4 years. So we need to be mindful and pick this apart. Well, if I've earned $475, then that is the interest rate. Or not the interest rate, the interest dollar amount. I didn't have that money to begin with, but by investing it into the account, I've earned this additional money. That's my interest. And I earned that interest off of an initial investment of $2,000. I left it in there for 4 years. And again, recall that in the beginning of the problem, if you're reading it on your WAMAP page, it's saying, well, what is the interest rate that I used? So I don't know what R is in this instance. So again, we will go ahead and we will use this formula that I just circled in green because it already has R isolated to one side. So I can drop everything in on the left-hand side and I don't have to move anything around to solve for a variable. The variable is technically already solved. I just have to drop in my values for I, P, and T. So in this case, we have 475 divided by 2,000 times 4, and that's going to be equal to my interest rate. This gives me 475 divided by 8,000, and this is going to come out to about 0.059. But if you look at the WAMAP page, it is asking you to present this as a percentage with 1 decimal place after. So that means that if I want to convert this to a decimal, I'm going to kick this back 2 spaces, and this is going to be equal to 5.9%. Okay, so I hope that was helpful, and that is the solution for the last 2 parts of question 5. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Thanks.